Best criminal background checks. So in this video we're going to go over the best options we have as public to do criminal background checks. Visit sheriffsdepartment.net, and what you'll find here is state resources that the public has available to them to do criminal background checks. And obviously if they're official resources, they're going to be the best resources. I'm going to pick the state of Arizona to show you how the process works. Most states will have a very similar process. So to get started, you have an option to do a nationwide check. So first name and the last name, click search, and this is an instant search, so it'll show you something right away. It looks at multiple databases, multiple states. It gives you an overall view of somebody's criminal background. If you scroll down a little bit lower, you have local state options, and when it comes to criminal background checks, you have essentials like criminal records, court records, criminal records. You might even want to take at driving related history, business lookup, prison records, and sexual offender registry. So let's take a look at criminal records. So in this case, in the case of Arizona, and most states will have something very similar to this. Department of Public Safety has a service, and what they have is they have employee type of background checks, fingerprint type of background checks. You have also a record review, so if you want to look at your own personal criminal history, you're able to take a look at that. A lot of times there is some paperwork that goes along with this to get and if you have to get somebody's fingerprints, it could get more complicated depending on what the background check is for. Sometimes people just want to do a quick name check, and so in this case, that type of a background check would be a little bit more difficult. This is a little bit more time consuming, but this is probably going to give you the best information, at least within the state of Arizona in this case. Your second option is to look at court records, and let me pull up the court related page here. And court records process civil and criminal information. So all the criminal related activities still has to go through a judge, and so you are able to look at these records through the court also. And most states have a different set of courts taking care of different types of court cases. So for example, municipal courts will do traffic, another lower level court will do misdemeanors, small claims evictions, and then like for instance the Superior Court in Arizona here will do felony type cases, juvenile probate evictions, things like that. And if it doesn't get resolved within the lower courts, it gets sent to the higher level courts. And so you want to make sure you have access to all of these databases if you want to make sure you're not missing anything. And so sheriffsdepartment.net has gathered this information for you, from Supreme Court all the way down to city courts and even county level courts. And there are instructions on how each of these databases work. So a lot of times you're able to research this online. If some states are behind, there are some states that don't have online access. Most do. If they don't, you do have an option to go to a terminal. A court of clerks, for instance, or a courthouse will literally have a computer, and you're able to pull up court records there a lot of times for free even. So if they don't have online access, you might think about doing something like that. Other types of records to check, as I have said: sexual offender registry, prison records, and they also, at the county level, you might want to look at arrest, mugshot type of records, and I think that about covers it. I'm going to go ahead and drop a link in the description, or just type sheriffsdepartment.net into your browser and get started on your criminal background checks using the best official state resources and county resources online. Thanks.